So as of filming this, again, it's late October 2022. Last year I was a year-long member, and this year, actually today, I just re-upped my year-long membership. They have different prices when you come in. They do offer some military like discounts, stuff like that. But I renewed my year-long membership, which is just $50. And I think this is the third year in a row I've renewed my membership to the museum, and that gives me like special little perks here and there. Not to mention that anytime the museum is open for its normal activities, I can just show my membership card and walk in. And plus, because it's like a museum and all that, you can write it off like on your taxes, that kind of stuff, like charitable donations kind of stuff. Just a little thing you can do, and they'll send you something in the mail. But they have all kinds of different aircraft here at the museum, and again, this is one of my favorite places to come here in Hampton Roads, because I love history, military history. I'm a military veteran, and this is a wonderful place to come and bring your kids to learn about our nation's history, and also about aviation history. A lot of World War II and World War I aircraft here at the museum. And again, if you see an oil pan underneath it, it probably flies. Most airplanes in here fly. So absolutely wonderful place to come, and I want to encourage you guys to come in and check it out. So they're supposed to be starting a tour here soon, so I'm gonna try to get on to that tour. Even though I've been here before, it's nice to hear the people here, the volunteers that work here, talk about the different aircraft that are here at the museum, because they know way more than I do about a specific aircraft that they have here. And yes, what kind of aviation video would it be without some mention of the Wright brothers? There's a Wright aircraft here at the museum. So some of the legendary aircraft you're going to see in the museum are like the Bf-109 from the Germans. Of course, they have, as you'll see later on in this clip, they have a P-51D Mustang. If you saw Top Gun recently, go Navy, then you saw Tom Cruise's personal P-51D Mustang that he uses in the movie. But this is another P-51D Mustang that's here at the Aviation Museum, and it actually flies. There are aircraft here from Curtiss, Grumman, Junkers, Wright, and many other famous aircraft manufacturers from the United States, Germany, and around the globe. And there's Russian military aircraft here, of course American and other nations as well. I like that airplane there too, that big one there too. So a short drive away from the main building where the Army and Navy hangars are, they have a World War I hangar, and then they have another hangar that you'll see later on in this video that actually has bullet holes in it that was actually captured by the Russians from I think the Germans in World War II, I believe it was.
Yeah, good lights. 1945. So you can see pictures of German soldiers on the airplanes, probably before 45. You can see some of the airplanes were dated, late 30s. You can see pictures of here's the hangar we're in. You can see that the hangar was torn down and shipped over here. Okay, so that's what you're looking at here. The flag up there is a World War II Nazi flag. Not something to be proud of for sure, but it is unique, and it's for a period of time between the mid-30s and 1945, about 10 years. So what we're looking at here is different types of equipment that they had during that period of time. This being an exception, this is a Italian aircraft. It's a Fiat, believe it or not, it's really Fiat. So you can see it there. So it belonged to an aero club, and it's a typical example of an airplane that was used during the late 40s, 47, 48, 49. There it is. So this is the exception. Over here we have German equipment. This is a 88 millimeter flat gun. This is the bullets that fire here, and the flak gun was captured when a ship ran into port. It was crippled somehow off of Spain. So this is Spain being neutral. It was neutral in weapons. You can see over there cartridges of the ammo. Here we fire the gun. We still fire during shows. It fires. It puts out a pretty good bang. So the weapon was used after the war, used all the way up through the 70s, I believe. It is a good example of state-of-the-art technology at that period of time. Any questions? So 88 millimeter. And that's the light that we would generate. Now, this big airplane is a Ju-52. It is an airplane that the Germans had as an airliner to begin with, and Lufthansa had it during the 30s, and it goes all the way to now. Notice the corrugated.
Yeah, it's a Junkers aircraft.
Kind of goes along with the airplane that we had during the late 20s, same kind of construction. Not very smooth, but it works. So anyway, that's an aircraft here, and I'll show you more. This is an airplane that is what the Germans had during shows. It put on, it would be competitive, it flew fairly fast. This is a Jagdmeister. Jagdmeister would be during a outgoing exhibit of technology at that time. This was 185 horsepower and went 150 miles an hour, which not bad for that day and time, because fighter aircraft in the beginning of the 30s was only going about 200, 230 miles an hour. So this was fairly competitive. This is an aircraft that fleet. It's an aircraft that was typical of aircraft that was used during the early 30s. This aircraft basically, well, it was a fairly good aircraft. No, any questions about this? before it goes further.
Just on a side note, even though it's a German hangar, this is an American aircraft. It's believed, well, Amelia Earhart at one point flew one of them. They were used for a lot of times just for postal delivery.
Yeah, Amelia Earhart never flew this as her own plane, but she used it when her plane was being worked on. So it's sort of a substitute aircraft.
Yeah, at the very least, we know she definitely flew this type of aircraft. We think this is one that she flew as a backup.
Okay.
Now this has been rebuilt, kept up, but she supposedly flew it.
Cool.
We don't know if she flew this one exactly. This is a German aircraft of the late 30s. It's a glider. You can see parts of it all over the place here. This glider probably could stand to be repaired and put back together.
Use a little bit of work, yeah.
Yeah.
Concerning the wings are
anybody
over
want to
there,
volunteer? Yeah.
I do it.
Anyway, this is a Messerschmitt 108. It's a German aircraft. It was a civilian aircraft, but basically became part of their war effort from about 40 to 45. So German aircraft here. Trying to think.
For the 108.
I'm trying to think of the movie that had one in it. But he was shooting guns from it, so it's not really accurate.
This was the precursor for Messerschmitt for the 109, and they actually used this as an advanced trainer. You'd see we have the primary trainers over there, the silver and red one. That would be the advanced single trainer for biplane and for learning how to fly a more modern aircraft.
Well,
They
that's
used
the
the
theory
108.
that went through is that they used it for training.
They used it to training for
therefore
stunt pilots.
stunt pilots.
And referring to the BF 109. When you said 109, okay.
The
Yeah.
109
Okay.
109 was developed in the 30s. So to be a precursor for this would be a bit different, but some version of that. That is a 44. I was going to ask why. Let's see if we can get over there.
So we can get around this end. Go see the other aircraft.
Yeah, let's go around here.
I want to make a little historic stop on the way too.
And you guys have a somewhere. You guys have a ME-262 as well.
Yes, we do. We have a jet. It's kept at the base over in Suffolk.
Okay. So for the sake of time, I edited out quite a bit of video. I respect y'all's time and I appreciate you guys watching Just Go. And I'm trying to make these videos shorter so you can still get a good idea, but it's difficult. There's so much I want to show you. So please go to the Military Aviation Museum in the Pungo section of Virginia Beach. They're not sponsoring this at all, but it's a wonderful place to go and learn about Military Aviation Museum. Shortly you're going to see a clip I think mentioned earlier, depending on how I edit the video, where they're going to show the bullet holes. There it is. It's one of them in this hangar that I believe the Russians captured from the Germans, and there's also other bullet and cannon holes in the same hangar. So it's pretty interesting. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I am going to leave in the corner real quick a very short intro to my other channel called Atlantic Ocean Watch, where I do affordable watch reviews. When you're done with this video, check out Atlantic Ocean Watch on YouTube, Atlantic Ocean Watch on Instagram, and Atlantic Ocean Watch on TikTok. I would appreciate it. There's the bullet holes coming up, and I'm going to share a short intro, but I'll turn the music down on the intro. But please check out my affordable watch channel, Atlantic Ocean Watch, on YouTube. Thank you so much for spending time with me today here on Just Go. You guys are awesome. Be well.
Yeah, you can see
the
highlighted where they hit, so you can see it. Yeah.
So you can see that, but the one that always fascinates me is actually right there.
Oh, yeah.
That hole right there is from a 20 millimeter shell. Then you can see that it hit from the outside coming toward, basically would have been coming towards us, and blew that piece of steel, you know, several millimeters thick steel apart. And amazingly enough, the structure was strong enough to survive it. And one last note is also you mentioned the bullet holes in the door. You can see a few of them over there. There's actually 3 or 4 in a line. You can only see 2 of them from here, but these 2, and then there's a couple more further down that it looks like probably from when it was strafed at some point.
Now, this is pretty much forever.
Got some interesting history to this hangar.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for being
Just be careful going in there because it's longer than you think.
Okay. Have a good time. Go back.